I'm Alison Green and I am a children's book editor. You might be familiar with some of the books that I've published down the years. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and most of that time I worked for very big companies, publishing companies up in London, but for the last 5 years I've been working freelance, which means I work for myself here in my house. As editor, I have the lovely creative job of working with authors and illustrators to make their books the best they can possibly be. So we want to work together to get the words spot on, the pictures absolutely bang on, so that those stories are as funny and entertaining and exciting as they can be, and they become books that children will want to read again and again. I've been incredibly lucky to work with some of the top names in the industry, obviously, as I say, Julia Donaldson, Axel Scheffler, but also people like Nick Sharratt. And I have the other lovely part of my job is finding brand new people. So this is a book by Nicola Kinnear, which I published last year. It was her very first book, and it's a real treat when you find someone as talented as that to work with. In terms of the skills you need to be an editor, it is a creative job. You've got to have a real love of words and language. It helps if you're a bit of a writer yourself. And in my case, I've also got to have a love of pictures, because it's a very visual job too, in terms of what I do. You do have to have an eagle eye for checking things. You've got to be passionate about grammar and punctuation and spelling, but also checking pictures. Does the character look exactly the same, and is that character wearing exactly the same clothes from spread to spread? You are the one that checks everything as well to make sure it's perfect. You also need to be a good communicator, because you do spend a lot of time talking to people, whether in person or over video conferencing or over email. It's not just the authors and illustrators, it's their agents as well, and it's also the in-house team of people who work in sales, marketing, publicity. As editor, you are kind of the project manager, so all of those people will come to you for information. In terms of what I would do with a student if they came to me for work experience, I mean, what I've been hoping to do, obviously it hasn't been possible this year, is take the student into the office. Although I'm freelance, I still do a lot of work for the company I used to work for. It's a company called Scholastic Children's Books. I would have hoped to take the student into the Scholastic office to meet people in all of those different job areas. So meet the sales team, the marketing team, publicity team, and so on. So you really get a sense of how the whole industry works. I'd also hope to have had a meeting with an author or an illustrator, whether in person or over Zoom. It's hard to predict that, because it depends where I am with each individual project, but I would hope to have a lovely creative chat with one of my authors and illustrators at some point during that work experience week. I would also, as a really important thing, want to take the student round to look at bookshops. Anywhere books are sold, that might be Waterstones or W.H. Smith's or a little tiny independent bookshop, or it could be a great big supermarket. Anywhere books are sold, it's a commercial industry. We really do have to know what sells where, and it's really interesting to look at a bookshop from that point of view and go, well, what's selling in the supermarket, and is that the same or is it different from what's selling in Waterstones? In terms of how to get into the industry, there are lots of routes in, but everyone will have a degree. There are publishing degrees that you can do. Some people have them, and that can be useful, but any good degree will do. You'll find a lot of people in the industry who have English degrees, history, politics. My degree was French and Italian. There are lots of ways in. The thing that is really important is work experience, and I think it would be if you were really keen to get into this industry, when you get to degree level, the first or second year of your degree, write to publishers and ask for work experience, because there's nothing like a week or two of working in-house to really help you understand if that's what you want to do, and also to get some really good experience for your CV. And it's a good idea, before you write to publishers, do a bit of research about them, find out what their bestsellers are, read some of their bestsellers, so that when you write to them, you've got good information and you can really explain to them why you want to do work experience with them. So that's a little overview of the publishing industry. I hope it's been helpful, and I'd like to thank you for listening and wish you all the very best with your education and with your career.